Greetings, everyone. This is Cherie Ariano. I'm your host of the Divine Lunch Hour and the Ascension Sessions. Thank you so much for being with us here today. Whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Rumble, welcome to the show. And if you're new to this show, please go and check out the Ascension Sessions, which is my longer format show on YouTube, where you can watch all kinds of amazing interviews of beautiful people. Today, I'm really excited because we have a beautiful guest for today's show. So I'm going to get right into that. And hopefully you guys brought your lunch and you have something yummy to eat as we enjoy this beautiful hour. And today's guest, everyone, is Joan of Angels. Joan of Angels is an oracle of ancient wisdom with a sole mission to help you remember who you truly are, unlock your highest potential, and support you as you step into your sovereignty. She's also known as Dr. Joan Hangarter, and she was a Doctor of Chiropractic in her earlier years when she earned an MS in counseling. Today, she acts as an oracle, energetic healer, and spiritual advisor to help you rewire your subconscious mind, release fear, and step into your true mastery. She's been channeling Earth Messengers Angelic Beings who are here to assist humanity ever since she was instructed to paint 33 angels in 30 days. We're going to talk about that today for sure. Once she connected to the angelic and galactic realms, she was gifted the name Joan of Angels. So I'm really excited to bring her on. Let me get her into the live stream, everyone. If you're in the chat room, please say hello. Welcome to the show, Joan. How are you doing today?
Oh my God, what a great introduction. What a great ball of light this show feels like. I kept hearing, oh, it's the hour of miracle power.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah. I do feel like it's a compact, condensed hour with really packed with divine morsels of wisdom and light. So thank you for saying that. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so happy to have you on the show. So for everyone who knows you, I'm sure, you've been in the conscious community for a very long time. And you and I just met up in Sedona at the Sedona Ascension retreat, which is amazing. And we had an angelic connection, which I thought was so beautiful. Like all the angels came together and, recognized each other. And it was so lovely to, just be in that feminine, divine, angelic energy for a minute, because there was so much going on at that show, which was fantastic.
And you're right. There was a mixture of energies. There was the angelic energies. There was the sort of star seed energies. A couple of ascended masters walking around. Right.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Coming together is a great thing, I think.
Absolutely. So I would love for you to share with my audience who may be new to you a little bit about your background, and if you can tell us how you became a channeler of angels, and do you consider yourself an earth angel?
That's a great question. I channel earth messengers, who are beings who come from the realms down here to assist humanity. I am an angel, literally, many, many ways. I really practice a lot of fifth dimensional and above energies to walk in a 3D body. So I like to say I'm a fifth dimensional angelic being and higher in a 3D body. A little complicated, but it's the way I like to see it. And I teach people how you can hold that energy and that presence as a divine. So you asked a lot of questions, and I guess, when I look back, first of all, the fact that I'm Joan of Angels and I'm that woman in the room who calls herself Joan of Angels was not on my radar not on my radar. I never thought that I'd be that person. All right. So, but I do remember connecting with little beings. So I'd lay in bed and I'd look at this painting on the wall, very young. And because I didn't have great eyesight, the people were walking. I'd see people walking around in these paintings. And then I would find myself in the paintings talking to them. It was very interesting. And the same thing would happen even with the pictures on my comforter. I would shift my eyes and I'd see, and I'd feel like I was talking to these amazing beings. And I didn't know what they were. It was very random. I didn't tell anyone about it. But I have had angelic encounters through my life. I always felt that I was touched by an angel. But in 2013, I had written books on miracles. So I've always been like thinking of the miraculous and the divine. That would be where I go to. But in 2013, I was going through a really tough time. And I remember I just kept asking for a miracle. Please send me a miracle. The miracle didn't come the way I was expecting. The miracle came in the form of a voice that said, paint 33 angels in 30 days. It was Halloween 2013. And I went, well, that's great. First of all, that's a lot of work. That's crazy. I don't paint faces. I can't do it. It's too much work. And I said, no. It was like just too much work. You know how it is? You get a message and you just too much work. So then I got the message a few minutes later, again, paint 33 angels in 30 days. And now it was like, well, it's going to smell. And what am I going to do with it? Too much work. Now, remember, I'd asked for help. And they send help the way they're going to send help. And I'm turning it down. So then there was a third time that night. And I do know I've enough training in my life to know that if I turn it down 3 times, it'll never happen again. And I said yes. I just said, okay. And I painted those 33 angels in 30 days. It was like a whoosh, like just, if I remember it, it's just as if something took me over and voila, here I am now. And I hang them up on the wall of the now new angel portal room, or the angel loft, I've called it. And a book fell off the bookshelf, a book I had really never opened on angels. And it said, your call for angelic assistance has been heard. So 30 days after I do it, the mission's complete, and they send me a message through this book. Your call has been heard. So I go, well, what am I going to do with the art? What am I going to do with the art? And it was like something, and we will come. Just paint us. They said, paint us and we will come. Who will come? We will come. And so that began a journey into the unknown of just becoming a channel or a paintbrush for these divine beings who didn't look like anyone else's angels. They were not gorgeous. They were just like clunky, and to me they were archaic, but they carried this energy of the divine, and people recognized that. And the craziest things started to happen to me. I remember sitting in the room with one of my roommates, and I suddenly start to see wings growing behind him. Wings. And then they started to show me my own. And then they started to teach me processes of helping people like me or you with an angelic frequency to feel the presence of their wings, to grow them, to feel them, to step into them, to have the presence of the divine in all things. And so I started teaching. It was crazy. I had people come, and I called it wing fluffing. In fact, I have services on my website for wing fluffing.
I saw that.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's the first time I've ever offered it publicly, but I would offer these events where people would come, and then we would be walking with their angel wings. That would be all colors. But the whole point was to really feel that presence. Like, we can know that we're not alone. We can feel their presence. We can receive their messages. And most important, the reason we don't is that for generations and thousands of years, it wasn't safe to call yourself a divine being. It wasn't safe to say I talk to angels, or I'm a healer, or an herbalist. It wasn't safe, period. So, and those of us like yourself who really were connected to the angels, were tortured, humiliated, shamed, and
Mm.
really they didn't want us to rise up again. And so in this process of really feeling into our wings, you can feel it into it with me. You bring your shoulder blades back, which are your wings, and you start to feel their presence. But in the
Mm-hmm.
process, I designed a program. I called it the Angel Rejuvenation Spa, where we recover our angel wings and our angelic presence.
Beautiful.
Right?
Well, I would say then that you are an earth angel because you're also helping other earth angels remember their wings and find their wings and connect to their divine um, angels, if you will. I mean, I think that there's a lot of star seeds on the planet right now, and many star seeds in all the readings I've done get angels assigned to them at birth because we come here with such a big mission. We need guardian angels with
That
us
is
like
true.
all the time. So, I mean, I think people ask that question, what's the difference between a starseed and an angel? And sometimes you're both. And if you're not, you probably definitely have at least one or three angels walking beside you to help you with your huge mission.
Right. And they have, they know why you're here and they help you remember your superpowers so that you
Mm-hmm.
can use the skills that you came down here with when you volunteered to be here.
Exactly. So it sounds like you've been able to see your guides or angels or the angelic beings who've been with you since childhood. I was able to visualize you in your room with the graphics on the comforter. And I was wondering, like, were they small beings or were they giant beings? Because we always hear about angels and archangels being these like 15-foot beings.
And some of them are even bigger because I saw Metatron once and he was about 100 feet tall and he didn't have wings. And then
Oh,
I had
wow.
people arguing with me that I couldn't possibly have connected to him because, who are you? And then when I said, well, he didn't have wings, and that upsets people because, we have this image of it. That's a
Mm-hmm.
really good question about, like, did I change shape? So in my memory, now remember, I was a little girl and I would be there with them and they were big, but they were
They
bigger
were
than
big.
me and they were
Mm-hmm.
very kind. I remember thinking to myself, I remember being sick once, staring at my computer, at my comforter, and wanting them to come to me, and trying to stare in a way, maybe if my eyes go weird, I could get back inside that scene in the comforter. So I guess
Mm-hmm.
I went into a different dimension without
Mm.
knowing it, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and it is interesting. We just very, very interesting to remember that I did have that connection and didn't really know. I was an empath from childhood and an
Mm-hmm.
intuitive, and I think the more we have these connections, especially if you have connections with extraterrestrials, the starseed extraterrestrials who are in contact, the government even knows that they have more telepathic abilities, psychic abilities, intuitive gifts. This is actually
Mm-hmm.
a very exciting thing to have and expand on those connections.
Absolutely. So I want to circle back to your 33 paintings in 30 days. If you would be so kind to share, what was your lesson in that? Because that was a big ask that your angels asked you to do. And what do you think now, looking back, what was your life lesson in that? What was the outcome for you?
Well, in truth, it became a training in listening, okay, and listening to the
Mm-hmm.
voice of my guides. And it wasn't long after I started painting that I went to this event, the Bhakti Fest, and I had a palm reading, very famous palm reader. And he said, you
Mm-hmm.
were supposed to be famous, but you blew it. And then he turned
Wow.
around and he said, but don't worry, it'll come again. And it is coming again. But what that explained to me was that all those times I had said no. So for me, part of the training has been to learn to listen to the voice of the divine, the whisper, and to
Mm-hmm.
follow the guidance and to recognize it and to teach people how to hear it. But honestly, my training, that's when my real training began, because I had to listen, had to close my eyes and kind of feel what was coming through. And so, number one, that was a training in learning to listen, that they were guiding me, that I had been asking God to give me a map, show me a definite plan that's going to work. And they showed me the plan. They're giving me the plan. They're giving you the plan, but they only do it step by step, like little morsels. And if you listen, they'll give you the next. And that was one of my takeaways. The other takeaway I had, Sherry, is that it took me 7 years alone in the desert to really understand what that meant to be Joan of Angels, because I got named Joan of Angels in 2015 when I moved to the desert, where I had been instructed to move so I could hear. So my life became different because I followed this whisper, and I tried to follow it in all things as much as I can. Now, sometimes, the human self argues with it, but that was the biggest training. And I think the next other training is that more and more I can connect. I can bring in messages, I can hear, and I can connect, and I can do it not just for myself, but sometimes for other people or for an audience of people. And that's so exciting to feel that divine light code coming right through you and waking up.
Absolutely.
So it's a process. It began my training in listening, and then in becoming a leader.
Right. Yeah, it's like they forced you in, they're like, not only are we going to give you this long, arduous task, but you need to do it fast. Like, you need to do it every day, because they wanted to speed up your training. That's so specific and meticulous and beautiful.
And they've done it to me before too. So in June of 2020, I'm thinking we're a couple of months into this crazy thing of the pandemic, and I'm going, I didn't know how to react. For some reason, I was like, well, should I be upset? I don't know what to do here. And I was telling everyone, oh, Joan of Angels, it's unique to me. And then I heard a voice that said, Joan, you're telling everyone you're Joan of Angels, but if you don't do what you there's a reason, there's a mission you have. And that's to uplift the world in a certain way with this angelic frequency. And if you don't listen, that's okay. But that energy is not going to stay with you. It's a special, and that's also for all of us to know that we all have a mission. And if we don't do it, it's okay. They'll go to the next person.
That's a really good reminder.
It's a good reminder to be one of the chosen
It's a really good reminder, because I do have moments where I'm like, I just want to be a mom. I don't want to do all this ascension work. But then I hear my path, and I'm like, no, I have to do this work. I have to.
And in my case, when I don't listen, there's trouble ahead. Things aren't smooth. Like that synchronicity or magic doesn't seem to happen as easily. And they've given me so many examples of it now that I just threw up my hands and said, I surrender.
Right. Well, now you're really living it in synchronicity moments, aren't you?
I am, because I gave up my home, put everything in storage. I'm on the road. I'm trusting the outcome that I'm being sent around the world to awaken angels and angelic light codes around the world and establish them. And I'm just doing it. And
that's so wonderful. You're trusting that guidance, which is what we all need to be doing. Yeah, that's beautiful. Why do you think there are so many Earth angels on the planet at this time?
So the time for ascension, and I know you know this, is now. We are in what's been prophesized for these years, and this new energy that's coming in. It's not just the Aquarian age; it's where we're located in the big scheme of things, and it's a 26,000-year cycle that's coming to an end. And there is a chance, when we say ascension, there's an opening. There's an opening that we can collectively leap through and raise the vibrational frequency of the planet and align it with peace and harmony, love, and a higher energy. And it's all happening now. And so we have the galactic teams, the galactic force, space force, kind of out there watching over the planet also. We have the angels full speed ahead for one reason. We have that opportunity to really ascend. This is the time, and this is the window. And I think that's why, and we need all that. Listen, we do need all the help we can get here on the planet. And we need it. We need miracles. It's not going to be 1 + 1 = 2 and build it slowly. We need divine miracles that have the ability to shift the frequency here.
Yeah, and that's yes, and I agree, and I would say that's because the dark forces are trying so desperately to win. So
Right?
we need as much light as we can on the planet right now, and we need all the star seeds and all the earth angels and all the light workers to really come online so
Right.
that we're in our full strength. It's really important. I have a question. A lot of people who work with angels say, "Oh, just call on your angel. They're always with you." Do you believe that most people have a guardian angel with them at all times, and that if they just communicate with them more, that they'll start to, see the benefits of communing with our guides?
Everyone has the ability to communicate with the other side or their guides, angels, or ETs. We all have that ability. What shuts us down is that society for centuries has poo-pooed all of that. They've done the best they could to make sure we don't use those extra senses that we have. So I think everyone does have that ability, and sometimes we need training. I've been in training forever. Like, the way I can channel now is far better than 5 years ago, because I'm always learning and growing, and messages are coming in and I'm beginning to recognize them. So it's a lifetime training, guys, but you can learn to do it. I have a simple way that I started teaching people and teaching myself, which is just to see that they're on a curtain on the other side, and then see the curtain opening and feeling them. And often people are hearing their guides, but they don't recognize it, or they're too busy to stop.
Right.
Because it could be in that song you hear over and over again. It could be in that. Like, my dad and I made an agreement years ago that I would know he's with me if I found 2 coins. And sure enough, if I'm in a dilemma, I'll look down and there might be 2 coins right there.
Right. Yeah, people find feathers or, coins or, all kinds of different signs. I'm glad that you mentioned songs because that's a big one. It could even be like a billboard ad or, an advertisement in a magazine that you're flipping through. I mean, there's angelic messages all around us. And like you said, most people don't realize it.
Right. I was on my way one night to do 4 readings. It was the first time I'd been hired to do 4 readings, right? And I go to do these readings and I go, oh my God, they're going to find out I don't know anything. And this was my first time, like this many people. And right in front of me at the light going right in front was this van that said Angel Maids. And I went, okay, that's just too coincidental.
Well, and it's funny because you were going to see them, and that's what maids do. They go to see
They go to
people.
clean, right? I was going to energetically
You were
clean
going
them.
to clean. Yeah, you were going to clean them up. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you also do, as you mentioned, these paintings. And I was wondering if you'd want to share some of your beautiful artwork with the audience today. And you mentioned something about soul essence art. And so I'd love for you to share more about what that is.
All right. I'm very excited. Give me a second. Okay.
Okay. And do I have to
Share
give you
screen.
permission to share? You have the button there?
No, just imagine that. You didn't need to. Hold on. The only problem. Yeah, here they are. Share. Okay, let me make sure you have that there.
I got that.
Okay, good. All right. So there, you can see this. So let me explain about my art. I want to be able to see what I'm showing you, but I'm not sure I can do both.
Wow.
So I started by painting angels. I started by painting portals into the new realm. One day I did this painting about angels descending to the earth. I never knew what they were showing me. And so
Mm-hmm.
these were regular, oil or acrylic art. And then I realized that I was traveling around and I started to do digital art, and I would take my artwork and turn it into digital paintings that were
Mm-hmm.
quite different. Now, a couple of months ago, about a year ago, and I've always been doing soul awakening sessions for people, soul essence, helping people remember who they are. And so then I got a request to do someone's soul essence. So when we look at why you came here, and maybe you're a volunteer here, this
Mm-hmm.
particular woman was here to help the starseeds remember, but her job was actually, she interviewed all the volunteers who were here who wanted to come down to the planet. Before, when we volunteered to come down here, she interviewed them, made sure they had the right skills, and only accepted those who were that they knew would complete their mission. So all of you guys who are listening today know that you were chosen because the chances of you really achieving what you came here to do is very high, extremely high, or you would not have been one of the ones here. So I did this soul essence session with her, and we started talking about art, and I went into art, and I started to come up. It started to come to me. So this is my dear friend Nicole, this is what she looks like on the other side. So
Wow.
my art is what I call oracle art, because when
Mm-hmm.
you have a piece of it, and this could be in the paintings, or sometimes I put them out as scarves, but when you have it, it resonates the higher dimensional frequencies of those beings. And so if it's in your room or your house, you will never forget who you are, because there it is. So this
Mm-hmm.
painting is sitting next to her work spot, and it's like having a combination of sage, incense, and crystals right there, clearing the field and helping
Wow.
you remember how powerful you are. So it's very hard to tell your guides, oh, I'm just not interested right now, or you really think I can, like, it's hard to have doubt when you see your power. So you
Right.
can't deny it. So I
It's
started to,
beautiful.
now this is Neil from Portal to Ascension. He's the
Yes.
founder of Portal to Ascension. And
Yeah, he was our guest last 2 shows ago. Remember?
Okay,
You were in the
oh,
hotel
that's
room.
right. That's right. I was in the, okay, and I think we were in Tucson, or we were somewhere. So Neil and I travel a
Yeah.
lot together as as a team, and we're establishing
Mm-hmm.
history schools around the planet. And while I started to do these, I did that painting for Nicole, I realized I started to play with Neil, and I realized, and this is a true indication of really, he's several different people wrapped up
Right.
in one.
Well, he
So it was
kind of
pretty
has to
cool.
be with everything he's got going on.
Right, right, right,
Such a
right.
multitasker. Yeah. That's
And it was interesting.
great.
And this is one of my last commissions. And this is a woman that I met at that conference that we were both at. And
Mm.
this is her divine dancing through the
Wow.
planet with her work and her mastery. She's cutting through any baloney with those little wings there, and she's literally dancing through her world, bringing in light and joy. So, oh
Beautiful.
yes, and here's the Egyptian presence. I'm doing a lot with Egyptians, especially since I discovered I had been Hathor.
Oh, wow.
Now, this
Amazing.
one, oh my God, this is the Egyptian angel. And Neil blew her up into a tapestry that
Mm.
was like 10 foot wide, and I don't know, maybe 6 foot wide, 10 feet tall. It was in feet. And it was on
Mm-hmm.
this tall wall. And he had one on either side of the stage at our conference last month. It was so
Wow.
profound to feel, and you can feel the presence of the divine. So
That's
these are,
amazing.
and I sell these, but if you're interested, you really have to reach out to me personally. She is the Atlantean high priestess.
Wow. That's amazing too. I
Right?
love that. That's so beautiful. I definitely had a past life as a mermaid general of the army. I was a mermaid warrior.
You were a mermaid warrior. Were you,
Yes.
so it was the mermaids it was a tribe of mermaid warriors?
Well, I lived in this underwater world and I had a vision of walking out of the sea into this like underwater cave, and all of the crabs and sea urchins like scattered when I entered. And I had long blonde dreadlocks and I was really skinny and tall. And I walked into this giant room that was like the council meeting room. And I sat amongst a council of 12 or 24 people, and I had to report how we were doing in this war because I was the captain of the whole army. It was amazing. It was incredible. So I don't know if that happened on Sirius B because I'm a Syrian starseed originally, or if it was like during Atlantis.
I think it was here when I tuned into it. And it
Okay.
wasn't just that era. I think that probably that's very, very powerful. A mermaid like captain of the mermaid fleet, the mermaid.
Yes.
It's so right. It's so uncommon, but I actually believe that even though we may not see it and be so in tune with them, that they're still here, maybe
Mhm.
in a different dimensional frequency. But I do believe the giants, the mermaids, the little people,
Oh yeah, they're all here.
leprechauns, they're still here, and it's just
Absolutely.
a matter of dimension.
I believe that as well. Yeah.
And sometimes, once I did see an elfin at my front door.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Very cool. Yeah, I've
that's
had
so
people
true.
report, leprechauns, fairies, all of them. And it's when we can like raise our frequency enough to see them and communicate with them. They
And that's what I
respond.
learned.
Mhm.
I learned that it's harder for them to come down to us. It would be better if we learn to raise our vibrational frequency to match that, which is
Right.
very healthy for us anyway. Gives us a whole new
Mhm.
lease on life,
Absolutely.
right?
Wow, I love that outfit she's wearing. That's really gorgeous.
Yeah, and it all comes to me. I really do channel it. Like I get that same whoosh that I had with the 33 angels. I'll get a
Mhm.
whoosh, and like 4 hours will disappear.
So
And
so soul essence art is basically you tap into someone's soul and then you create a beautiful painting
yes,
for
yeah,
them?
yes.
Oh,
Now,
that's
not
nice.
all of these are soul essence. This is some of the angels at rest.
Mhm.
Thought I'd just show you a few. And
That's beautiful.
this one is on a planet and galaxy far, far away.
Wow.
So here's one of our beautiful. And this one, this is the last one I'll show
Oh
you.
my goodness, that was
Right?
amazing. Oh, I love that.
Right. And it's kind of interesting to see the planet this way and to
Yeah.
really start. And I think some of the art helps us, we talk about other places and dimensions, but to be able to see it, that's why they told me to do it. So I can show
Mhm.
you what it might look like.
That last one was incredible. What do the shovels represent on there? There were like shovels on the side, on the
Well, let's look
bottom.
at it again. Oh, it's interesting. There's also spoons.
Are there?
There's a lot of crystals here. And
Uh-huh.
if you go, let's show you the painting again. You'll sort of see it.
Okay.
There's a lot of crystals in the house on that whole outside of it.
It looks to me
Uh,
like all the dimensions of of a planet, maybe not Earth, but could be Earth, but it's like each version is a different dimension of that planet, kind of like a fractal. You know how a fractal kind of repeats itself.
well, it's a way of seeing it too. It's hard for me when we talk about these interdimensions. When we talk about these interdimensions, it's really hard to kind of picture what they look like. How do you travel them?
Mhm.
Like, how do you know where you are? What is there a sign that says you are now entering the seventh dimension? and you know,
Right. Right.
and and I was just playing around and asking to show me interdimensional art. And I honestly believe what happened is some of these crystals got incorporated into what you're seeing here on the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it reminds me of like a chessboard, where we're in this great battle, and you can imagine like all the chess players, chess pieces. That's amazing. So what do the shovels represent?
Exactly, Tay. The shovels, tools that we use to let go of in this case, false ideas,
Mm-hmm.
limitations, false ideas. Sort of like we have an idea about the earth. People think it should be round. Maybe it's really not. Maybe we need to clear away and dig at a lot of the different things that keep us bound. And in my case, I think about my life since August when I left my home. It's like I always say, well, Neil had a huge shovel, or Source had a shovel, and it literally shoveled me out of being stuck into a new place.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's perfect. It's on par with being bound by our limiting beliefs, and we have our own limiting beliefs, but then we also have the ones that are put upon us by society and the powers that be. So it's a good reminder to really dig at the question of like, is this mine? Do I believe it, or is it being put upon me?
Right, put upon me.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. True,
Wow.
it's true. And from very early childhood, we're told what we can and cannot do, what
Right.
our role is, what the restrictions are. You live on a 3D planet. You're
Mm-hmm.
not going to be able to teleport to go visit Sherry and do this together. These are the rules on this planet. You don't hear like they try, and then we have to grow into really who we are without any guidance.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I know. So, can you share with us a little bit about Europe and what you're going to be doing in Europe for the next 5 months, which sounds amazing and fantastic, by the way?
It does. Except when I get down to this idea of packing, it's like, how do I take everything, including my crown, with me? So I do work with Neil a lot, helping him set up different productions. And this year we're
Hmm.
really going for in person. And so also online, like we have an Atlantean conference coming up in a few weeks, all about Atlantis. I think it's a 2-day conference. But so my daughter lives in London. That's the first thing I want to say. And so
Hmm.
I get a chance to really visit and dive in with and see what my daughter's life is like in London. So on a personal note, I get some really good family time. I
That's
also
awesome.
get exciting time. I'm heading to a conference in London, a New Age conference. I'll probably go for the day. And then Neil and I are putting on a conference in Glastonbury. And I love Glastonbury. I think it's
Hmm.
the heart chakra of the world
Yes.
and all of the magic that's there. So, and when I say putting on a conference, that means a whole lot of our friends are coming, people we know from the States and work with, and we're going to do some tours there. And I
Hmm.
think we're heading to Scotland to see the giants and little people. I'm very obsessed with the giants right now and doing a lot of research on that. And then we head to, and we're doing some conferences in the UK. Billy Carson has a conference coming up, and so there's other conferences. And then we're taking 2 tours to Egypt, 2 groups of people on
Hmm.
2 different 10-day tours of the pyramids.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah, I was supposed to go to the Glastonbury event, but
oh my God! And what
it's
happened?
it's coinciding with when my children get out of school. So it's not going to work out because there's like conferences I have to attend that final week, and it just it's just not going to work this time. But I would have loved to have been there. I know Vivian is going to be there, and you're going to be there, and stuff like that. And definitely a bucket list location for me.
Well, yes, and guys who are listening, if you haven't been to Glastonbury, it is so magical, and
Hmm.
it is going to awaken a lot of memories. And a lot of my work right now is twofold: awakening not only my own memories, but others' memories, because I feel like we're coming together with people we've known in other lifetimes in the mystery schools, but also helping people remember that they carry these light codes right in them.
Mhm.
And that really we're here, even if you don't remember your mission, you're here to carry the light.
That's right.
And that's where we can all start.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful reminder. There's so many star seeds and light workers on the planet right now who are maybe just beginning their awakening journey. And, some of them, their mission is just to hold the light. They don't even have to do anything. They just have to hold the light, so it's a beautiful time to be on the planet. Absolutely.
Well, it is, and it's so unusual because it could look like the weirdest time on our timeline. It's a crazy time we live in,
Hmm.
and some people are frozen with fear. But I believe that this is the time for all of you undercover angels to step up, feel your wings, fluff those wings, and start to remember why you're here,
Hmm.
because you're here for now,
That's
and
right.
you're here for
And
now.
and guys, if you have any questions for Joan, please put them in the chat room, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. We would love to get your questions to Joan. We have about 20 minutes left in the show, and I want to honor you for being here and acknowledge any questions you might have for her. Do you do angel readings too, Joan? Like if people are wondering, they have a suspicion they're an earth angel, do you do readings, or what kind of readings do you
I
do?
do a lot of readings. They're not specifically about who your angels are, though. My
Hmm.
reading's more about who you are in essence, why you might have come, what your best gifts are, how to awaken those gifts, how to step beyond the challenges that keep you from doing what you really came here to do. So I help
Hmm.
people really clear away that baggage so they can step into their power. It's like I awaken, activate, accelerate, regenerate, and reboot, so you can really do and hear what you came here to do. It's a whole kind of combination of things. So I do a whole bunch of, I call them all different names. It really depends. I'm a spiritual advisor, and one of the things I now offer is spiritual chiropractic, meaning I help people align their body, mind, and spirit, and I do it energetically by realigning your spine, by realigning that nerve centers that you have, and
I could
showing you
use
where
that.
you're.
I could use some of that. I've been having this like click click in the back of my neck up here, where the occipital, like right below where the
We could
spine
work
meets the
something
thing.
out. We
And
can
I'm
work
like, what
something
is
out.
that noise? Click click, too much computer time, I'm guessing. But it's really interesting how our bodies start to change.
Well, it is interesting, and very few people know, but there's an angel switch right here,
Oh,
right at
really?
the base of your skull. And that switch,
Interesting.
I call it an angel switch, but I changed the name of it also. But if it's blocked, then it blocks messages from the divine. So one way to help is to turn that on and allow that
Mhm.
energy to flow through you and to
Well, I
literally
call
flow.
that the I am ascending point. That's our zeal point chakra. And I designed an essential oil elixir for that very point called I am ascending, because this is
Ooh.
where a lot of the energy comes in from our guides, from our angelics, from our higher self. It can also be where psychic attacks come in. So we have to protect that area as well. It's a
And
very,
implants.
yes, and
And
I
implants.
wasn't
We
going to
find
go
it,
there, but since you did, yes,
why not go there?
implants.
All these things are real.
Yes.
And I've seen implants in people too. Implant removal is
Hmm.
kind of an interesting process. Some of them
Yes.
we need, actually. Some of them.
Right. Yeah. When I do healing work, I always ask, is this implant for their highest and best good? Or should we remove it? And then I get permission to, remove it, or I tell them like, oh no, you need this because your guides put it here, or your soul family.
Right, right,
So
right.
it's kind of interesting. Yeah. Did you ever meet Dr. Lear when he was around? Dr. Roger
No,
Lear?
I didn't find out about him till way too late in the
Oh,
game.
wow.
and he had
Yeah.
already passed. Yeah, I have friends who knew him, but
Mhm.
absolutely. And then there was Roger, Dr. Roger Lear, I think he was a dentist in the beginning who used to take implants out.
That's who I was talking
Oh,
about.
that's who you was, and I was
Yeah,
thinking of
yeah.
the other, the okay. Well, I was confusing him with another doctor from Harvard who did a lot of research on contactees and abductees,
Oh,
who
okay. Yeah.
verified that this was a real experience. His name was John Lear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's confusing.
I could be putting people's names together.
Did you say that you've had some of your artwork put onto scarves?
I did, yes. There's a
And
website, yeah, that I've put them up on.
are
And
you the artist who has the booth at the Conscious Life Expo with all the scarves? The
no.
beautiful painted scarves?
Oh, no, no, no. That woman is a master at sacred geometry. And at these tapestries, she hand paints those silk, those silk
Scarves.
tapestries. They're not actually even
Mhm.
scarves. I think they're actually wall hanging tapestries. They hang them up all around the expo.
Oh, yes, I know who you're talking about, but isn't there one she does scarves as well?
I don't
Maybe
remember.
it's the same person. Maybe she does, like, the big tapestries and the
I don't
scarves.
remember, but even the vendors at the expo are changing, and things are changing in all
Mhm.
areas. So I don't know. And it's gotten bigger. We had something like 250 exhibitors last year.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
great conference, guys. If you haven't been there, Conscious Life Expo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been many times. It is a wonderful expo. They always get great, speakers and vendors.
Yeah. And I always
So
introduce speakers there. So I enjoy that.
awesome. So is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience today, Joan? Do you have any angelic messages for us that maybe wanna come through?
Yes. Yes. I'm going to ask what it is they want us to share right now. And
Okay.
oh, so they want us to believe in the power of possibilities, the power that we can be like, what if this is true? What if it's true that I'm from the angelic realm, or that some of us are from the angelic realm? What is it if it's true that we came down here? We volunteered to come down here with a mission, with skills that are totally suited for us to do what we came here to do and how we came here to do it. And what if it was completely possible that we can talk to our angels and our guides and receive direct messages from them? And what if it were possible that we can literally carry these divine light codes and really start to raise the planetary frequency into that energy of love and into that energy of all is possible and all is unfolding for the highest good? And what if we could collectively, as we raise this light, spread miracle seeds across the planet and see these miracle seeds filling in the water, and the water then growing the plants, and then the plants being eaten by the animals and the people, and suddenly miracles start to be spread from one to the other? And what if
Mm.
it were possible that we really were divine beings that are here in a human form? And so we are asking all of us to believe in the possibility of miracles, because the planet is in a state now of ascension. And because it's in a state of ascension, best to look not so much in the 3D world of possibilities, but what could happen in the other realms where miracles do occur. So believing in the possibility of miracles for each and every one of us, and also knowing that you are here in the exact right time to do what you came here to do. And you are fully equipped as a star seed and a light worker with every skill you actually need to
Mm.
accomplish this mission. You were not sent down here defenseless. You were not sent down here abandoned. You were sent down here because in your heart of hearts, you have a soul contract that says, I can do this. I can see the world as a better place, and I can help use the skills I have to inspire or uplift or lead or touch someone's heart or just fluff someone's wings in a way that brings more peace and joy and happiness? And what if each and every one of us had a purpose as simple as that, to bring light and love here into the planet, to transform our world and the world around us? And so we ask you to believe in the possibility that you are part of this miraculous opportunity where synchronicities will happen. And so that as you start to listen to those voices that say, go to Starbucks right now to get that coffee, drop everything, because I know you guys get those messages, and you drop everything and you go down there, and there's, well, I'm kind of touched. I'm seeing this little old lady who just needs your smile. That's all. And when you leave there, you go, oh my God, my heart feels full, because now I know why I was called there. And so that the universe begins to give you that response back, so that you know that what you're feeling is what is coming towards you. But we live in a universe that responds completely to our consciousness. And if we're expecting harm from Mercury retrograde, we're going to get it up the wazoo. You know, if we're expecting that this Mercury retrograde is going to be an acceleration and all things are going to go well, and we start to put into the field that Mercury retrograde is a time where I reboot, regenerate, reawaken, and maybe take a rest from all sorts of things. And I go through, you know, we need, that's not even the right word. We are ablaze with our potential. The Earth is in a turning point. There are two timelines, guys, that are operating on our planet. One is what I call the more controlled timeline, the one that's not the optimum frequency of the planet, more war, more violence, more destruction. But the other timeline is created by each and every one of us. And as Sherry said, like, there's thousands and maybe millions of undercover angels waking up. And if each and every one of us does our job of waking up and raising our own frequency, we affect thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So we are asking you to remember that the power that you hold, your presence alone here on the planet, is powerful. Your light is powerful. Your ability to transform your thoughts into positive is making a difference collectively. And so it is. Believe
and
it.
so it is. Beautiful. Beautifully said. Thank you for sharing so much light and wisdom and divinity. I mean, we all need all the positivity we can get right now in the state of the world. And I appreciate you so much for being here and sharing that with us. So thank you.
That's why I fluff people's wings, my dear, so that we can believe in our energy, so that we can feel it. And even if it's, you know, sometimes, like when I speak, sometimes I really feel like I've transformed angelically, like when I'm on the stage. And then I get back into my human form, and it's harder to believe it, you know, or even harder to look like it, you know. And so the more we can do to really feel into our higher consciousness when we walk in the world or when we talk with people, the world needs us to be our best selves. There's enough people who are not.
Correct. Yeah. And they don't even have the ability to, you know, I mean, they have the ability, but they're completely unaware or shut down. So if you guys have even a 2% inkling that you're here with a great mission to spread love and light, please get on board, because the world needs you right now more than ever.
And to be one of the chosen ones, you must choose. So.
Well, and do you believe that many people chose before they incarnated in this body that they have now on Earth?
I think more and more people are waking up to remember that they actually have had a mission for many lifetimes. It's just that, you know, planet Earth is not an easy place. If it was an easy place, we probably wouldn't be having this discussion. You know, it's not an easy planet.
Well said.
You know.
Yeah, well said. Wonderful. Well, this has been such a wonderful conversation. And can you please share with the audience where they can learn more about your work, your service to humanity, where they can engage with you, and what kind of service offerings you have?
Sweet. So joanofangels.com. Joan of Angels, everything. I love my name. Joan of Angels, YouTube. So I have a YouTube channel, and I do in fact, Tina Marie, who is up there, helps me on StreamYard to do my YouTube channel. So I have shows. I have my Instagram account. I started a new blog on Substack, but the thing is, go check out the website. So what I offer is wing fluffing to help you remember and to feel the presence of the divine, so you can feel like that fifth dimensional person. I offer soul essence readings and soul awakening sessions. So I do offer sessions and private counseling. I'm a spiritual advisor, and I help align your body, mind, and spirit. So I do all these things, and I do painting. The art I do, if people have those soul essence services and they want to dive deeper, we can do that and create artwork for you too. So it's on my website, most of it. And if you can't find it, you can always reach out to me through the website, joanofangels.com.
Wonderful. And if you guys are connected to Portal to Ascension.com, Joan is also working with Neil Gar, so you can find her that way. But definitely go check out her website, Joan of Angels. And if you missed the beginning or the middle of this show where she showed her beautiful artwork, please go back and watch the recording, or hop on over to her website and check out her beautiful artwork. And you can support her that way if you love supporting artists. Why not support a high frequency artist?
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Yeah, so this was really wonderful. Thank you for coming on the show, the Divine Lunch Hour. It was really great to have you, Joan.
Oh, so great to be on your show. You are beautiful. I love your energy. You're just really fun to connect with you again.
Oh,
and
thank you so much.
Next time you'll be in Glastonbury.
Yes, that's right. Well, there'll be other shows too this year where we can reconnect. So I look forward to seeing you again in person. And for everyone watching, please go check out my website, divinelightcodes.com. And I'm also Divine Light Codes everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and now TikTok. So please connect with me as well. And if you have someone that you think would be a great guest on this show, please go ahead and message me. And I'm open to suggestions and want to hear who you guys would love to see on the show. So please connect and stay connected. And I'll see you next time on the Divine Lunch Hour. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joan. Many angelic blessings to you and everyone watching now and later, the recording. Got my angel wings on.
All right. Let's do that. Get those wings fluffed, guys.
All right. Beautiful day. Bye.